For 16 years, I was a victim of domestic violence and I needed to get out. I'd left several times, but because I made too much money to qualify for government assistance and I wasn't getting child support, I always found myself going back. So I needed to get out. And I heard about Hope of the Grand Valley through a TV commercial and I reached out.
It's a little scary at first, and it's hard to ask for help, but everybody needs some kind of support. I myself, I'm away from all of my family, so I was on the verge of a breakdown.
So about 4 years ago, I moved here from the East Coast, and single mom, struggling, trying to make ends meet. And then about a year later, a friend of mine had mentioned Hope of the Grand Valley to me. I started out with their Christmas program.
Through a friend. We were talking about Christmas coming up, and I've never been into the Christmas season just because it's a little rough and you want to do so much and you can't. And she suggested Hope of the Grand Valley and got me an application.
Well, first of all, I've met a lot of wonderful people. We've all kind of gathered together and became a really good family. We share our stories together and we all know what each other is going through. The classes have been great. I've learned some really good parenting skills. And I have been able to help out too, I think, with that as well.
We started with first a food drive. It was in November about 3 years ago. And we had learned about Hope of the Grand Valley and spoke with Vicki and really learned a lot about what Hope does for families. And we just had decided that it's so great that it wasn't a handout and that we were helping people that were trying to work hard and be part of, the community.
Well, I was very excited to be asked to be on the board of Hope of the Grand Valley when Vicki approached me, because I am truly committed to the mission of this organization. And what it brings to our community is an opportunity for folks that are working very hard, getting themselves off of public assistance and trying to keep themselves from being on public assistance. They may have low-paying jobs, but they know that they can do it if they just have a little bit of help.
I actually saw one of the commercials that Hope of the Grand Valley put out during one of the Broncos games. And I saw that they offered budget coaching, and that was something that I'm interested in, is a financial coach and helping people get their finances in order. I Googled Hope of the Grand Valley, reached out to the director, who's Vicki, and expressed my interest. We got together for lunch, kind of talked about, she shared with me a little bit more about Hope of the Grand Valley, and we talked about areas that I might be able to serve, started doing some one-on-one financial coaching with some of the folks going through the program, realized there was such a big need that we created a class. So now we offer a 3-session class for people to go through where we focus on budgeting and getting them headed on the right path to get their finances in order.
The budget coaching has absolutely been my favorite. I've found myself being able to step back from my second job and just be able to work one job just from the tips and pointers and learning how to handle the bills and how to handle my money and take care of things. I love it.
Every month we have at least 2 classes running. We have a mom's group, we have a dad's group, and we have different guest speakers come in each and every month. So it just kind of depends on what we see or what our families tell us that they need, and then we just find a speaker or a volunteer that will come in and help them with that. We've done how to check your own vehicle for our mom's group, so how to take care of the tires, the oil, the washer fluid, all of those things that us as women don't really know about. But it's important to know, and that way we don't have to go to a mechanic when everything goes kaput. We have had a lot of parent support groups, family support, family schedule managing. The list goes on and on.
Hope of the Grand Valley has helped me out through the budget classes as well as scheduling classes and different counselors that I was able to see at no cost. And that has been tremendous for me. During the course of 3 years, I've managed to step out of being a Hope of the Grand Valley family to being a Hope of the Grand Valley volunteer, and that's been amazing.
It meant the world to me. I didn't think it was possible for that to happen to us. I'm eternally grateful to what they've done for my children and myself.
If you think that you need something and you are not on government assistance, you definitely need to reach out to Hope of the Grand Valley. All it takes is going online and filling out an application and meeting with somebody, and they'll be able to determine what kind of needs that you need and how we would be able to assist you.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. We all need help once in a while, and this is a great way to have it.
I think people need to know that there are people that care for those parents who are working, as hard as they can, physically, mentally, trying to raise their family, trying to provide for their family, and sometimes it's rough, but Hope of the Grand Valley has been a huge help.
So Hope of the Grand Valley was founded in order to fill that gap, the gap with our working parents with children that are not receiving government assistance because they're working and they're making just a little bit too much. We provide a hand up and not a handout, and our families become our family. They all support each other, and it's a community effort.
Hope of the Grand Valley is such a wonderful organization. You're really missing out. If you are in a situation where things are really tough and you're just going payday to payday, don't be afraid to reach out to Hope of the Grand Valley. It's a great program. You're going to meet a lot of families that are just like you.
It fills my heart every time we help a family, every time we hear a story where someone's been able to get out of debt, they paid all their bills off, or they had a wonderful holiday, or they actually realized that they needed to do some major changes in their lives.